Hey, welcome back. It's another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. I'm Nate Palmer, and I am here to serve you. And if you're here, it's probably because you're a high performer or an entrepreneur or a business owner that's interested in maximizing your physique, your finances, and your focus using fitness and nutrition as force multipliers in your own life. If you're not already a part of the Facebook group, you're definitely going to want to go to n8trainingsystems.com/group. That's where we stream these podcast episodes every Monday, and you can join in and ask questions. There's a ton of cool things happening in the group, as well as a massive amount of free resources that can help you get to your goals and achieve your goals before the beginning of the year even. So again, go to n8trainingsystems.com/group to join us there. If you're already in the group and watching live, super excited to have you because we're going to be talking today about the 7 steps I would take to drop 20 to 40 pounds without messing with my busy life and job. If I had to keep making money on the side to put food on the table and couldn't spend 100% of my time dedicated to weight loss, if I wanted to maintain weight loss for life, if I didn't want to do a crash diet, if I wanted to have focus for my clients and energy for my family, these are the 7 steps I would take. In this specific order, we're just going to go into them today. No problem. Before we get started, one of the things I like to do in the podcast is give a shout out to the people accomplishing big things in the Million Dollar Body community. Got to give a shout out right now to my guy, Mac. Mac has been dropping weight. He is now at the lowest weight that he's been at, I feel like, at over a decade. And it's just been awesome to see him consistently pushing himself, progressing, and then utilizing a very specific framework to get what he wanted out of his nutrition rather than having to forcibly put himself into eating in a way that doesn't suit his lifestyle, doesn't suit his business goals, doesn't suit his family goals. So we appreciate you. If you're watching this, Mac, I hope keep it up, keep rocking with us. All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and this is just a shameless plug, is the Million Dollar Body Method. You might recognize it as being very similar to the name of the podcast. Million Dollar Body Method is going to be coming out in book form sometime mid-January, mid-ish January. Hopefully that will be, we're thinking like somewhere between the 14th and the 21st. Got a couple things in place that we need to get done beforehand. But if you have been supporting the Million Dollar Body Podcast, you've been getting any value from the content I've been putting out, if I've helped you out in any way, would love it if you could join that book launch team, or at least just toss your hand up and be like, yeah, I'd like to buy your book for $3 or 99 cents when it comes out. Help me get to a bestseller on Amazon. Help me impact more people, get more people some great results in their focus and in their physique. So the book is titled The Million Dollar Body Method, helping entrepreneurs. I should have just read this beforehand. It's the only diet for the entrepreneur's diet for superhuman focus and rapid fat loss. That's it. It only took me 3 tries, but you know what? We got it. End of the day, and this is how I'm showing up right now. You're welcome. Apparently the music I was listening to ahead of this was not loud enough or rowdy enough. So anyways, let's jump right in. If I were hypothetically looking to drop 20 to 40 pounds, and the reason I brought this up is because I had a couple of people reach out to me and say, hey, I gotta figure this out. It's been all year. I meant to make this happen in January, and something came up, and then March, my gym got shut down, and I was going to go back in July, and then we were traveling, we got back, and the gym shut down again. And it seems like a full year's gone by, and I haven't been able to accomplish the thing that I knew I wanted to accomplish in 2020. It was my year, right? 2020, don't at me. So what would I do in this situation? Rather than wait until January, putting that off, what would you do today to start getting started? Start getting started. Start starting. Stop stopping and start starting. That's the secret right here, okay? So number 1, the first thing I would do is I would figure out a framework for nutrition, figure out what works when for me. And a framework for nutrition is going to be important in a couple different ways. Number 1, we want to make sure that this fits with your lifestyle. If you have a busy job, you're a real estate agent, you're driving around a lot, you're outdoor sales, something like that, and your framework, your diet involves putting meal prepping a bunch of stuff and putting it in Tupperware and loading it into a cooler and then eating it at randomly appointed intervals on your watch, and you have to hit it between 90 minutes to increase your metabolism. To me, that doesn't feel sustainable. Definitely not what I would do. So if I was in that position, I would find something that I could do on a repeatable basis, whether that's not saying you need to go eat 5 protein shakes a day, but whether that's front loading your day with protein protein shakes, and then having your bigger meals at the end of the day. That could be doing something like a fasting protocol. Ori Hofmeckler wrote called the Warrior's Diet. He advocates for 1 meal a day, 4-hour feeding window, and a 20-hour fast, which is a little longer than most of us go, with like a typical 16 and 8 intermittent fasting. I don't know if that's for you. I don't know if that's the right framework. I have an amazing framework that seems to work for most entrepreneurs and business owners who are busy throughout the day doing a lot of things. It's called glycogen priming. You can check that out on my website. I have a lot of information about that there. So if you want more information about how the glycogen priming method works, check that out. That's going to be the basis for the $1 Million Body Method coming out in January. Another shameless plug. Thank you. So if that's the right fit for you, awesome. If keto is the right fit for you, great. If intermittent fasting is it, awesome. But figure out the framework that works, and not just works at getting results. We're not even there yet, but we got to figure out how we can eat in a way that doesn't negatively impact our life. Okay. And like, what should I eat? Well, I mean, there's so many good answers to this question, but I think we should start with what should you not eat? And most of us, if I laid out a big spread on the table and I was like, here's a bunch of shit, why don't you eat some? Most of us will be able to look at that table and be like, hey, this is healthy. This is broccoli. It's healthy. This is an apple. It's healthy. This is cake. It's not healthy. So just figuring out ways that we can get away from eating fast food, fried food, sweets, processed stuff, creamy dressing, stuff that we obviously know is not healthy for us, without necessarily being like, oh, I'm just so overloaded with information. That's the first step. The framework's the first step more than anything else, right? You thought I was gonna say training. You thought I was gonna say heavy squats. Maybe 8 years ago, mom, but not right now. So framework is the first part. Number 2, start with just the nutrition. Work that piece. And then the first step is to lose 10 pounds, right? Just like that. So if your framework is on point and we can figure out how to eat all day, maintain our energy, make sure that we have focus in the morning, energy in the afternoon. Now we can start dialing stuff in. So maybe your framework is so dope that it just allows you to lose weight. That's what a lot of people report with the glycogen priming method. Hey, I don't even measure my food. I just follow the steps and it just seems to melt off. That's what we're going for. That'd be awesome, right? But maybe you're like, I'm doing keto and I can't, it's fats, 9 calories per gram. It's kind of tough. So just log your food, track it for a week or 2. See how you're feeling. The goal is to lose 10 pounds, that first 10 pounds right off the bat, okay? If you can accomplish that in the first 3 weeks or so, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's the best. Drop those pounds, figure it out. If it's not coming off, well, then you're eating too much, period. You're not in starvation mode. You don't have you're eating too much. And so log your food, track it, use MyFitnessPal, use Lose It, use an app like that. Your goal is to lose 10 pounds. And then your secondary goal, I'm about to blow your mind with this one. Your secondary goal is to get bored. Get bored with your food. I want you to be so bored eating. You're like, this chicken salad, fantastically boring. And the reason for that, the reason boredom is an important aspect of getting the results we want is because once food stopped being like alluring and we need to have it always fresh and we always got to have like, oh, something new. And I've never had tacos with, I don't know, cheesecake on, I gotta try it. Then we can start focusing on the other important things, our focus, our energy, and how our body's responding. But if you're always gonna be searching out new and different things, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're gonna get burnt out. And it sounds like the opposite, right? Oh, I'm getting bored, now I'm gonna get burnt out. No, it's if you're always needing to be new and engaging and different, that's how you're gonna burn yourself out, because it's a lot to handle, it's a lot to juggle, especially when you're trying to lose weight. Here's a factoid. If you take nothing else from this episode, but the factoid is this: the leanest, healthiest people in the world eat the same things for breakfast and lunch most of the time. The leanest, healthiest people in the world eat the same things at least for breakfast, sometimes for lunch, but all the time. They just get a little bit bored with their food. It's no longer a big deal. It's like, I have my shake in the morning, I drink the shake is gone, and I'm on my way. I'm not thinking about it anymore. It's like fitness. Fitness should be boring, because at the end of the day, if you're not thinking about it all the time, you're just fit, then you have so much more energy to devote to important things, the things that really matter in your life, your family, building your business, like your legacy, whatever that is. But if you're always constantly preoccupied with how do I look, how's my fitness, how's like, and you just lose energy for those things that can really make a difference. Unpopular opinion coming at you. So lose 10 pounds, get bored. Step number 3, You can do this around that step number 2 part, or you can add this in after you've lost the first 10 pounds. That's totally fine. But we just need to walk 30 minutes a day. You thought I was going to say heavy squats again. No, we're going to walk 30 minutes per day. There's one simple way of doing this to the greatest effect. Okay, so you can walk 30 minutes. You can walk in the evening. That's fine. It's awesome. Walk in the morning. It's also awesome. The best possible way to do this. Here's another factoid. This is called a value bomb. Don't get used to them. No more value bombs after this. Walk for 10 minutes after each meal. There are 2 reasons for this. Number 1, in terms of immune building activities, I was listening to Sean Stevenson, he's a researcher. He does a lot of stuff with nutrition and sleep. Recently, he's been talking a lot about infectious disease. So naturally led him to COVID. So talking about infectious disease, he found that NK cells, the natural killer cells that are present in humans naturally, are one of the things that help us combat the COVID virus more than anything else. And one easy way to increase your body's natural production of NK cells is, you guessed it, a 10-minute walk. Just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes creates an infusion of NK cells that can mimic or be on par with actually getting a medical infusion of them. So it's so simple. It's so easy. And if you just walk 10 minutes, you could, if you got your mom to do that, you got your neighbor to do that, we'd be transforming communities, transforming people's lives, their fitness, their health. It's amazing. So walk 10 minutes after every meal. The second reason why you should do that is that after you eat and you go for a walk, it improves your digestion. You're going to be feeling a lot better. It helps you partition more of those nutrients to muscle and less to fat. It's a win-win-win. So that's your second value bomb of the episode. And I am done. I'm out of value bombs. The rest of it's going to be largely bullshit moving forward. We'll see. So adding in that 30-minute walk, that's number 3. That's what I would do, the third thing. You can do that, week 2, week 3, even week 1 is fine. There's nothing wrong. Walking is always going to be awesome, but this is the order I would do it in. Number 4. Now let's add in those heavy squats. Number 4, what I do is add in 2 days of resistance training. Just 2 days. We don't need to go crazy. We just want to make sure that we can get it in, get it out the door. And honestly, if this is 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that's totally fine. It doesn't need to be an hour-and-a-half long marathon workout. You don't need to squat, deadlift, and do all the hardcore exercises. You don't need to get on a treadmill and jog for 6 miles. You just need to do some resistance training. So I would do a lot of rowing. I would do a lot of pulling exercises, some pushing stuff, do some leg stuff. Get those bigger muscle groups. That's going to be the best way to do it. Don't overdo it at first. Because we're not using this as a way of burning calories, punishing ourselves for eating French fries. We're using it as a way to build muscle and actively increase our metabolism going forward. Here's the thought. Here's the process. First and foremost, we find the framework. We figure out how it works for our life and for our focus and our energy, first and foremost. Second thing is we lose the weight. So we monitor if we have to. Otherwise, we just watch that weight just gradually slip off using glycogen priming. Number 3, we're going to add in a little bit of activity through those walking. Number 4, we add in a little bit more activity through the weight training. So rather than decreasing calories more, now we're increasing activity very slowly, okay? So 2 days a week of resistance training. Resistance training is the elixir of life. It's going to help you age more gracefully, build more muscle, look great in a tank top, look great with your shirt off. Basically just give you that, like the physique to match the energy levels that you want, the focus levels you want, the output that you want, okay? So add in the resistance training. It's a must. It's so important. Even if you don't love it, sorry, sometimes hard work is not like that much fun, but just getting it in, like 2 hours a week, it's probably plenty for most of us, but start there, okay? Now that I said that, what I would do probably after that point is what you'll see is that, like, after a couple of weeks, you'll stall out. You'll see your progress will stall. Your body will get used to your new like set point with your weight loss. So adding in, like, making sure that you're not really necessarily having to pull out more calories. We're going to add in more training. Okay. So what I would do here is counterintuitive. I would add in that 3rd day of resistance training if possible. If possible. If not, we can still do the 6th step. So this is step 5. Add in a 3rd day of resistance training. And this is where we're going to start getting a little bit more serious about building muscle, about transforming our body, about not just dropping weight, losing fat, but also building muscle, becoming better, getting stronger, and recomping our body to make ourselves, like, the scale might not move, but our body's going to change shape, which is what we want, right? Better metabolism, better shape change. You're just going to be feeling really good. So add in that 3rd day. And then step number 6, we're going to add another meal in. So we're not dropping more calories. We're not cutting back. We're not cutting carbs. We're adding in food now. Okay. So we've tried to we basically dropped our calories. We lost some weight. We added in some movement. We added in some resistance training. We added in some more resistance training. Now we're going to add in some more food. Okay. So that way, rather than having to cut back, because what happens is when you cut back and you're at 1,200 calories and you plateau and you can't lose the last 10 pounds, well, what do? You drop to 800 calories only if you want to feel like shit, have no energy, and be bad at everything. Having 800 calories for your brain to work on is a very tough situation about day 4, day 5. So if you want to keep losing weight, here's the way to do it. It's actually opposite of what a lot of people will tell you. Okay, so we add in more food, add in the second shape, or add in the second meal here. And one of the ones I like to do is just add in a post-workout meal. Okay, something you can eat after your workout that is superior for building muscle, because that's one of the best times to do that. So we add in that meal. So that's number 6. Add in a meal post-workout. Okay. And then step number 7 is, at that point, what I would do if I was looking to lose more weight or recomp a little bit differently, I would add in some cardio at that point. Okay. And now a lot of people think, well, to go cardio first, let's use nutrition, let's cut carbs. But it's actually, if you do it in this direction, you'll find that your body responds better. You lose more fat, less muscle, and you look the way you want to look while feeling the way you want to feel. So here's those steps again. Framework for nutrition. Glycogen priming is awesome. Intermittent fasting can work. Even keto, whatever works for you, whatever works for your lifestyle. Start with nutrition. Lose 10 pounds. Get bored with your nutrition. That's step 2. Step number 3 is walk 30 minutes every day. Step number 4 is add in 2 days of resistance training. Once you've mastered that, maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks later, add in a 3rd day of resistance training. Maybe that's a weekend for you. After that, roughly after you start adding that 3rd day, once you get comfortable there, let's add in that post-workout meal to help you build some more muscle and increase your metabolism, make that run a little bit faster. And then number 7 is we can add in some cardio. Cardio can be done on its own day. It can be done for 10 minutes after each workout. It can be done, in a variety of ways, but that's the steps I would take. And I guarantee you, within 4 to 6 months, with a pretty relaxed effort, where you're not having to beat yourself up and really grit through it and use your willpower and no sweets, you're gonna lose 40 pounds. 6 months, you'll lose 40 pounds doing those exact steps right there. Okay. So if you want more specifics on how you can do that, if you want a little bit of help implementing a glycogen priming framework into your life, you want to see what the $1 Million Body Method is all about, just reach out. You can find me on my website, or just go to n8trainingsystems.com/group and just be like, hey, how do I get more $1 Million body in my life? Ask that question. I'm sure someone will respond. If you have any other questions about this, though, if this has been helpful for you in any kind of way, take a screenshot of this podcast, throw it up on social media, tag your friends in. Every time I get tagged in a social media post or a podcast post, I really appreciate that. So that's one thing you do for me. That's my ask for Christmas, from you to me this year, and from me to you this year. What I will do is I will do a podcast next week as well. Hope you're having an amazing day. Namaste. We'll see you soon, and go Hawks.